The UN's Independent Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine has found more evidence of war crimes committed by Russian forces in Ukraine. Now, this includes deadly torture and the sexual assault of women up to 83 years old. It is also investigating allegations of genocide by Russian forces. The team says its evidence showed crimes committed on both sides, but vastly more being committed by Russian forces than by Ukrainian troops. The commission reports it had documented Russian explosive weapons attacks on buildings, a functional medical facility, a railway station, a restaurant, shops, and commercial warehouses, which caused civilian casualties and the disruption of essential services and supplies. Joining us now to give us more insight into this latest oral update by the Independent Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine is Commission Chair, Mr. Eric Mose. Sir, thank you again for your time today.
My pleasure.
So I was told that there were over 10 trips conducted by the Commission overall, including 3 by the commissioners, including yourself, sir. So what are some of the newest details you can share with us from this most recent visit to Ukraine?
We have now been working for 1.5 years approximately, and based on the most recent investigations, we just gave an oral update to the Human Rights Council. We are struck by the scale and gravity of the atrocities. In particular, we have noted that the use of torture is widespread and systematic also in 2 regions we have recently visited, namely Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. And this, of course, amounts to war crimes. The targets were primarily persons believed to be informants of the Ukrainian armed forces, as this is prohibited. And there are also explosive weapons, including used also with respect to protected objects such as medical facilities and civilian targets.
Some very disturbing details in this latest oral update, sir. Did the Commission notice any change in Russian strategy from prior visits to the country during the war? Is this systematic use of torture a new strategy, you would say?
No, this is something we have noted also previously. And more generally, I think that there was some kind of continuity which has struck us in connection with the latest developments. But the investigations continue, of course.
And amid all of this horrendous activity, sir, what is the current state of Ukraine and Ukrainian morale well into the second year of this war?
Well, needless to say, it's a very, very complicated situation. We meet frequently with victims, witnesses, NGOs, authorities in Ukraine. They are coping as best as they can, and we note a certain resilience within the population, which is striking.
And what are you hearing from the people in Ukraine who are living amid all of this?
Well, they share with us their grief, their suffering, their everyday difficult situation. And as you know, there are also airstrikes during night. So people have these air alerts and they have to go to shelters.
All right, sir. And I know there are some next steps for the UN Commission. I believe there is a report scheduled for October to be released. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what we can expect from this report?
It's too early to go public now with the details of that report, but we will draft it and present it to the General Assembly in mid-October. And then the next step will be to come up with a very comprehensive report in March next year. Meanwhile, we will continue our investigations in Ukraine.
All right, sir. Just about a minute left here, but what other steps are you calling on international leaders to take amid this war in Ukraine?
It goes without saying that accountability is the important catchword. That is part of the Commission's mandate. And we have discussed in our reports partly general recommendations about accountability, also specific accountability issues, namely trying to find persons or entities that are suspected of having committed atrocities, and also non-judicial accountability is of the essence People are suffering, and there is a need for medical assistance and psychosocial services.
All right, Commissioner Mosa, we look forward to the report in October. Appreciate your time today. Thank you again.